As New Japan Pro Wrestling's 2018 Dominion show is over. As what a fucking show it was, my god. The best show of the year for New Japan, without a doubt. Easy assessment there. As man, this is those probably final 3 title matches. All were great stuff there. That was a lot of fun. As we'll start off here with, even before the show starts, we have the introduction of the new CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's Harold Meij. Basically, there's usually a new CEO in New Japan. I think every 4 years, might be every 2. Like they switch it off every couple of years. As Harold, he's the first non-Japanese CEO, so that's pretty cool. He was kind of mostly known as like a businessman type of thing. He was involved in like Heineken and like I think he was like the vice president of Coca-Cola for Japan, and then he then became like the CEO of a toy company who like saved it. Like he was doing all these marketing ideas. That's kind of his big thing, is like marketing and kind of the new age of how to improve a brand. That's kind of his thing. So that's a big, that is some big news there. That was announced like probably about a month ago. Yeah, it was a while ago it was announced, but they finally got time to give him a big presentation for their big show in Dominion there. They gave him, he did a little promo for the crowd. As we start for the opener, got Roppongi 3K taking on El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru for the IWGP Junior Tag Team belts. Roppongi 3K jumpstart the match with a nice little tandem tope to start off. Fun little opener. Nothing too spectacular, but nothing that was terrible. As a show hits his lung blower powerbomb, Desperado kicks out though, and Despe rolls him up with a quick little 3 count. As those sons of bitches, they just keep on retaining those tag belts. I don't know what it is. It's like whenever I do those never 6-man belts when Fale and the Guerrillas of Destiny were the champions, like every time they defend, I'm like, yep, they're gonna lose, just every time. And I'm doing it here with these junior tag belts, and every time they just keep on winning. I don't know what the... Eventually I'm gonna have to do what I did before, and just start saying Kanemaru and Despe are gonna win. Finally get those belts off them, but that was a little disappointing that Shonyo didn't get the win, but that's neither here nor there. Nothing major, you know, it's an opening match. Nothing too big. Next tag match, we got Juice and David Finlay taking on Yoshihashi and Jay White. David Finlay is, I believe that's his new shirt. I haven't seen it before yet. It's like him as a baby. It's a little weird. Not a shirt I'd be rocking in the real world, I'll just say that. Juice and Jay White, their interactions throughout this match were pretty good. I can't wait to see how that title match goes. That's gonna be a lot of fun to see. As after some finishers are exchanged by a couple of the guys in the ring, Juice pins Jay White with Pulp Fiction, giving him the win over the U.S. champion. That's some big stuff there. Momentum going in Juice's favor towards an obvious future U.S. title match. As then we have the next tag team matchup. Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano. Suzuki and Ishii trying to rip each other's throats out during the stare down. I mean, Jesus Christ. That was fucking awesome. The opening sequence with Ishii and Suzuki was great. Basically, everything with Ishii and Suzuki was amazing. That was, that singles match. Man, that's going to be awesome. I'm assuming if they don't do it at the G1 Climax special show in the United States, they'll have to do, like, there'll be a block match. Like, it's... Or are they just going to hold it off till, like, Wrestle Kingdom? I don't know. But that's going to be fucking great. As Zack does one of the coolest counters of a low blow I've probably ever seen. Countering it by trapping Yano's hand with his legs and twisting him into a submission and making him tap. That was pretty fucking cool. Not gonna lie, that was pretty dope. Post-match, Ishii attacks Suzuki on the ramp. Chairs get involved, they start swinging at each other. And they go to the floor, and just the strike exchanges on the floor. Just killing each other. God damn, that was... It did its purpose. Made me more excited to see Tomohiro Ishii and Minoru Suzuki. Man, those teasing that match, that's gonna be something. The never open-weight triple threat match. Taichi, Michael Elgin, and Hiroki Goto. Michael Elgin's gear. A lot of things Michael Elgin is bad at, but this is gear. What the fuck? Like, just why? It's so bad. Like, it looked it just looked so bad. He did not. He looked like he didn't belong. I'll just say that. It just looked bad on him. Taichi gave this match much needed substance and character. Just was a flash of something of importance and actually like value into the match. As Big Mike with a big tope laying on both men on the floor. Nice little Tower of Doom spot. Revolution Elgin Bomb onto Taichi, and he gets the win. God damn it. The one thing I didn't want, just let's not have Michael Elgin beat Taichi, and what the fuck they do. God, the one negative thing about this whole card was this. Fuck. God, and Michael Elgin, fucking Jesus. We'll go on to the more positives of this show. IWGP Tag Team title matchup, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson taking on Evil and Sonata. The beginning of this match, this was basically what you'll see, like, the Young Bucks' greatest hits, just all the, highlights and spots that they do, kind of the Nick Jackson little combo where he ends with that spinning elbow, just stuff like that. Back-to-back matches, though, having Tower Doom spots, I don't know if that might not have been a good idea, to be honest. I didn't really like that too much. If I had to pick a match to have it, at least I'd rather have the triple threat match to it, just so that's at least has something to do with the match. But other than that, really nothing to complain about this match. Cool sequence with Matt putting Evil in the sharpshooter while Sonata then hooks in a Skull's End. Nick breaks up with a dropkick from the top rope. I always love those little, like, lock spots that happen in, like, multi-man matches. It's always, I don't know, it's just a little niche thing that I like. I don't know. Around this point, too, is where the match starts kicking into high gear. Like, it was fucking rocking. As the Bucks look for Indie Taker. Nick can't get a springboard. He's selling his ankle after missing a kick. And he hit the post. It was, good stuff. A good little spot there. As a big fucking heavyweight lariat from Matt Jackson, too, on Evil. He killed him. That was awesome. More bang for your buck, though, for the Young Bucks, and they get the win, and are the new IWGP Tag Team Champions in the first ever title match, too, for the IWGP Tag Team titles. That's pretty cool. I mean, well-deserved. Some might say a bit overdue, but, better late than never, at least. They picked a perfect team for them to face, too, in Evil Sonata. They're kind of, Sonata's more of a smaller guy, Evil's more of a traditional heavyweight. As then the six-man tag team match with Jushin Thunder Liger, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Rey Mysterio, Jr. taking on Cody, Marty Scurll, and Hangman Page. The fucking Dream Team taking on the Bullet Club. As that Mysterio's mask was fucking awesome. The half and half of just like Rey's kind of traditional mask and the line mark logo. Like, that was really cool. And plus his entrance gear too, like the jacket on the back. That was pretty fucking awesome. I was digging that. The beginning of the match is just everybody was, like, changing on who was wanting to start the match off until they finally got Hangman Page and Tanahashi going one-on-one there to start off. But really nothing too big going on in this matchup, to be honest. Very much a filler match, but it was cool to see, like, Liger getting on the card and being, like, of course, Liger's the goddamn man. And Tanahashi, too. Just those guys going to be on the card. And the crowd at least gave a shit about it, so it wasn't too bad. But really nothing too important and drastic as far as the finish goes. Crossroads on the Jushin Liger, and the Bullet Club team gets the win. Cody tries to beat up Liger, but Rey makes a save. I'm assuming that's a match at the G1 Climax show in the U.S. Would make sense. Would make a lot of sense there. As now we're at the meat and potatoes of the show here. We got the final three, the home stretch here. IWGP Junior Heavyweight title matchup. Hiromu Takahashi taking on Will Ospreay, the champion. Holy shit. Right off the rip, we get a fucking flip off the ramp from Will Ospreay. It wasn't even like 3 minutes into the match. Like, just already, 3 minutes in, and there's something fucking insane already happening. That was a lot of fun. They're a cool little spot to start off the match, really. As a sweet Sasuke special, too, from Will Ospreay. You gotta love a good Sasuke special. As Hiromu counters a springboard from Will Ospreay into a German suplex. That's a sucker spot, too. Like, if anything, whether it be a back handspring or just a regular springboard into a German, like, just a sweet little spot I'm a fan of. As both men trade poison ranas, Hiromu counters the Stormbreaker into a Yoshi Tonic. Holy shit. Gotta love a Yoshi Tonic. Shooting star press from Will Ospreay while Hiromu's on the ropes, and then into a corkscrew shooting star press, aka the Red Arrow. As, God, just the athleticism again. That happened like at the that's kind of like a go-to spot for Will to do a shooting star press on someone on the ropes into something else from the top rope. It's just fucking crazy. As Hiromu counters another Stormbreaker, this time using the turnbuckles to kind of jump onto it and then turn into a Canadian Destroyer. Just fucking awesome stuff there. Ospreay counters Hiromu's triangle choke, and they're just picking him up and swinging him on his goddamn head. Like, he could have killed him. Like, this was fucking brutal. They slow-moed it. He had to have been fucked up. Like, there's no way. He was fucking on cloud nine there. He got dropped right on the side of his head. Like, that was very scary. Hiromu somehow, though, gets back to his feet, counters into a sunset flip powerbomb spot to the outside, onto the exposed area. That's, goddamn. I'm remembering the spot, too, of him just getting dumped on his head still. Like, God, that was brutal. Fuck. As Hiromu slides him back into the ring, hits a time bomb, but Ospreay does kick out at 2. Stormbreaker again gets countered for the 3rd time, as Hiromu turns it into a triangle choke, which then he sets up for a D-driver, dumps him right on his head. Hiromu hits a time bomb for the 2nd time, and Hiromu Takahashi wins and becomes the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Fucking awesome match. Again, a great streak of great junior matches on these big shows, on just any New Japan show. The great junior title matches throughout the entire 2018 year of New Japan. Just fucking great stuff there. Hiromu getting the win. I will say, I was a bit surprised. I did think Will would lose to Taiji Ishimori, but now I guess it's now went to the point where it's like, well, where are we going to go from here? Because the junior division now is going to take a back seat into the G1 Climax season, so now it's like, kind of Hiromu gets a break after now just winning it. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go once the G1 Climax is over and done with. As the co-main event, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship matchup, Chris Jericho taking on Tetsuya Naito. Jericho still rocking the makeup look, but he changed it up a bit. He kind of looked like the Crow. What would be the Crow if it was like he was a hipster? Like, it was a different... It was different. I'll give him that. Like, wanting to go all in and being a little different, I'm all for it. It was a different look. Like, it was something. Yes, Jericho jumpstarts the match on the outside, power bombs him through a table. Fucking awesome there. And then, Jesus Christ, he DDTs him on the announce table. And of course, it's Japan, so the table doesn't break, and he fucking murdered him. Like, just, it looked more impressive that it didn't break, because then you hear the thud sound, and you're just like, oh, Jesus. Gets him back in the ring, hits a lion salt, gets a 2 count, though. As the Osaka crowd, too, this whole show, of course, the crowd was great for it, but specifically this match, they were just all about Chris Jericho. They were all about it. Usually, basically, any chance they got, Naito got booed, too. That just, you know, it is... I'm still surprised that the crowd just isn't all in on Naito still. Like, they're just still resenting the fucker. Because anytime he do something eel or just he cut him off, they'd always boo him. And it was like, he'd spit at him. It's just fucking something. But pile driver from Tetsuya Naito on the announce table again. Now, doesn't break. As I don't know when this happened, but Naito gets a cut above his eye. And it looked fucking brutal. As Jericho counters a top rope Hurricane Rana into a walls of Jericho too, when he dropped down from the metal rope onto the ground, or I guess onto the ring rather. He could have killed him. Like, he could have spiked him on his head. Would have done a shitty style splash basically. So good thing Jericho knows what the fuck he's doing and didn't murder him. Speaking of Jericho being a good worker, a good professional, sloppy counter from Chris Jericho. They're trying to counter a Destino, and he just turned into a shitty little sidewalk slam. But listen. They all can't be winners, you know. Sometimes you gotta fuck up every now and again. But Naito goes for it again, and he hits it, though. He tries to get a cover, but Jericho gets the ropes for a rope break at the 2 count. As Naito starts bleeding again. This time, I think it's from his ear. But it might have been from his cheek. It looked like he got it hit, like, either knee or something behind his ear, and it cut him up. Has maybe even been from like the DDT on the table and it like cut his ear or something. You know, who really knows? As Jericho counters Naito's flying form into a code breaker. Cool spot there. It looked a little dicey, but that's a hard spot to do, so I'll give him leeway on it. Naito does kick out though at 2. As Naito again tries for the Destino, Jericho shoves Red Shoes out of the way, low blows Naito, hits another code breaker, and gets the win. I was like, wow, like just shocked. Chris Jericho, now 10-time Intercontinental Champion. Man, he's he's got to be the first guy to win both WWE and the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. As a post-match, Chris Jericho attacks Tetsuya Naito with the championship and his own personal belt. But then Evil makes the save, and it looks like Evil and Chris Jericho is going to happen. Holy fuck. As a man, Evil coming back from this excursion, and just like, Evil, King of Darkness. It was more of a rib that I kind of liked him, but over the years, he's grown on me. And now, you know, he beats one of the 2 people last year who pinned Kazuchika Okada in a singles match. And now, we're in 2018, he's getting a title match. It's Chris Jericho. What a crazy world we live in, where Evil is getting the rocket strap push by New Japan. Fun times. As the main event, the match where I think everybody and their mother was excited for. IWGP Heavyweight title matchup. 2 out of 3 falls. No time limit. There must be a winner. As even before the match starts, they made this sweet-ass little video that was shown on, like, the Titantron, the little above-tron. I love the stage, too, of Dominion. Like, the way this Dominion Osaka-jo Hall was designed for this show. Like, just the little Titantron above kind of the ring, and then the one in the back. Like, I really enjoyed the way it looked. Looked really cool as, just a video just showing the struggles of Kenny Omega, and then, like, a little feather falls down, then turns into Kota Ibushi, and it's like, you know, you've done all the sacrifice and all the struggling, and now, you know, it's all that hard work, all that suffering, all that sacrifice. It ends tonight, type of thing. As I thought that was really well done, and fucking awesome, and it was cool. Like it wasn't, because of course they do the VTRs is what I call them. That's what they always upload them on the YouTube as the VTRs, and then they did this one. It was like a little special one. It was cool. Hopefully they do that more often. Maybe not so often where it doesn't become special, but at least every now and again. Like, you know, keep it Dominion, Wrestle King, you know, stuff like that. I'm sure they're going to do that, so fuck it. Kind of a waste of a point there, but fuck it. We're live, pal. We'll keep it going. The fucking crowd for this was tremendous. The whole card, they were great, but I'll say it again. Like, they were great for the co-main, and they're great for this main. Like, they were on fire. The Osaka-jo Hall crowd. God bless you. As, now, you know, in these big-time New Japan matches, you'll see guys go for their big moves early on in the match, which is just a little formula I've kind of noticed during some of these IWGP title matches. I guess specifically more with Okada, but then guys with those quick strikes, they're starting to do it more often. Also, Sonata does it too, so it's just that kind of thing where it's not the slow, methodical build anymore. Now, sometimes they'll throw in a little, teaser, you know, they'll just be like, oh, maybe it's over right now, you know, type of thing. As, just talking about the first fall here, Okada goes for his little crossbody over the guardrail spot, but it gets cut with a V-trigger. That was fucking awesome. It looked even better in slow motion. Like, that was awesome spot. As Omega does a crazy springboard crossbody onto Okada, who's behind the blue railing. As Omega's going for his, that top rope dragon suplex, which was giving me death flashbacks from Wrestle Kingdom 11. And I was just like, no, don't do it again. Don't murder Okada again, please, don't do it. But it somehow gets worse, as Okada countered it into a tombstone piledriver on the apron. Jesus. It just, Omega starts to get momentum after getting dumped on his head, does his big Terminator dive, his big Tope Gungiro, followed up with his big top rope drop kick to the back of the head. As Omega goes for a one-wing angel, Okada counters it looking for a Rainmaker, instead gets destroyed with a V-trigger. As then Omega hits a Kreutz Wrath. I think it's the only time he hit the Kreutz Wrath in this match, so that was pretty cool. Okada looks for the Rainmaker. Omega counters into a Rain Trigger, which is like the little wrist lock transition into it. Gets a 2 count. Okada again looks for that Rainmaker. Omega tries to counter for a crucifix, but Okada just drops down for a quick pin, hooks the legs, and gets the first fall. Honestly, that first fall and that first match of the 3, probably my favorite of the 3, because it was a bit like the Wrestle Kingdom 11 match, and it had that kind of same style and flow to it. I just loved it. There's something about that first fall that I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like, the finish was pretty cool. If it was like a main title match, I'd probably be like, oh no. But for like a 2 out of 3 falls match, it's fucking perfect. Made me want to see more for the rest of the matches. Nothing you can ask for there. Nothing more you can ask for there. As the second fall now starts, as the fucking chops by Omega too. Just seeing the sweat leave Okada's body. This another thing about pro wrestling. It just goes when you see the strike exchange and see the sweat and just flying off their bodies. Such a cool visual thing to see. I've always been a fan of that. Back suplex on the apron from Omega, who then grabs a table, does his double foot stomp onto the table spot. With a top rope AO Shuda from Kenny Omega, dumps him on his poor little head. Omega goes for the German suplex from the apron to a table that's on the floor, gets blocked. Omega then drops down, like fuck it, one wing angel on the floor. That gets countered. Okada looking for a Rainmaker, which Omega then ducks into a Poison Rana on the floor. Absolutely murdered the poor man. Okada rolls back in the ring, gets caught with a V-trigger immediately. Okada counters the one-wing angel again, this time with a jumping, twisting tombstone pile driver, and he somehow, this is going into this is incredible stuff. Okada goes for the Rainmaker, gets countered into a Uranagi. Omega does the big dropkick spot that was very Okada-esque, and that was really cool to see. Okada, though, again, looks for another quick pinfall, tries to drop down and hook the legs for another pin, but this time Omega does kick out. Omega hits that double underhook pile driver that he's been kind of doing as like a signature move for, it started last year, he started doing that. As finally, though, one of the 2 men hit their big finishing moves, as Omega hits the one-ring angel, and he picks up the second fall, as we're all tied up in the final round. The second one had that same energy, a lot of cool shit towards the end. It was starting to pick up, but really there were some dull moments throughout it, compared to the first one anyways. If I had to just pick apart it, just kind of nitpick things. But it was as far as now, we're going into the third fall, of course, and it's like, the story of can Omega not only win, but now he's going to beat Okada twice in the same night. So the story that I was hoping for, we're going to see it. I think that's the right decision, so now we're going to see how it plays out. And the third fall starts right off the rip with a V-trigger. Okada's still just kind of recuperating from that one-wing angel, and he's still kind of like in his corner, gets destroyed with it. Omega looking to pick him up, looking for that one-ring angel, and Okada says, fuck that shit, I'm going to hit him with the Rainmaker. Nails him, and he doesn't get a pinfall, as Okada goes for a Hurricane Rana, trying to counter it, as Omega goes for a powerbomb. Okada looks for a Hurricane Rana, but gets stopped in his traps. Okay, let's try that again. Omega's going for a powerbomb. Okada's trying to go for a Hurricane Rana, but Omega just stops him, and he just kind of looks at the crowd, hooks the legs, fucking crowd erupts, styles clash, and he kicks out at 2. Immediately after the 2 count, crowd starts chanting AJ Styles, like fucking goddamn, that place came unglued. That was a fucking awesome spot. It's crazy. The crowd's just like, oh shit, WWE guy move. That was a lot of fun to see. As the Tony Jaa spot, which is a little like running knees while somebody's laying in the corner from Omega. Omega goes for up to the top, looking for a Phoenix Splash. Okada rolls out of the way. Omega starts hitting just multiple V-triggers. He's trying to murder the poor man. He's bringing his arms into it. He's got his arms locked. He's got Okada's arms and bringing him into the knee, just destroying him. Okada finally, the third one, he catches him and stops and goes for the Rainmaker. He hits it, but like he collapses when his arm hits. A little broken Rainmaker. Oh no, this is not looking good for Kazuchika Okada here. As Okada goes for it again, this time he gets all of it, and it just hits it, and he picks him up again, hits another one just for good measure. Goes for the third one. Omega counters into a German suplex. Omega starts to use Red Shoes to get back to his feet. Looking for a V-trigger. Runs right into a Kazuchika Okada drop kick. As now Okada is looking for the Rainmaker. It's like, this is it. He's going to end it here. He's going to retain. But he gets pulled into a one-ring angel. And it was so well done. Such a fucking awesome spot. Just so well timed. Omega hits a V-trigger. Hits him with picks him up. Hits another one-wing angel. Just for good measure. And he gets the win. And the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Kenny Omega. I'll be goddamn. The man, he beat Okada twice in one night. Probably went like an hour, 15 minutes with him. Holy fuck. As, you know, the man, it's hard to say. For what he did with him and Okada last year, it is deserving that maybe he is the one. It is deserving that he's the one who beats him for the belt. It really is. I think he truly deserves he deserved a title reign. If it's going to be someone who's going to beat him, that was a good option. They could have tried to catapult somebody into a new star, but it probably wouldn't have worked over well, just because of the level of the matches that have happened with Omega and Tanahashi and Naito and Shibata's match, of course, fucking legendary stuff. And to have it Kenny beat him, it took him, it took him 2 matches to beat him in a singles match for the belt. It took him, it took him 3 times for the championship match to beat him. And really it was, his third title match, really it's something. As the Bucks join Kenny and Ibushi, as then they embrace, they put the belt around him, as fucking, man, what a match, what a show. Kota Ibushi, as then Kenny, Kota Ibushi, the Young Bucks, have now formed the Golden Elite. So finally, after kind of speculation over the months that when's it gonna happen, finally happens. No really big blow off Bullet Club feud or anything like that. No like loser leaves Bullet Club or anything like that. Just kind of like they're finally their own thing. To close the video, the reign of Okada, man, the Kazuchika Okada reign, it's over. It's Okada God, no more. Sad day. What a fucking reign. Maybe the greatest ever. It really was. It's so weird to compare the Ken Kobashi GHC title reign, because for me that was always one of my favorite title reigns like ever. This match against, of course, Misawa, the title match where he won it, was probably one of the greatest matches of all time. And his match against Minoru Suzuki, his match against Yoshihiro Takayama, Jun Akiyama's match, just pretty much, I like probably I think he had 12 defenses, probably out of like 10 of them were just awesome. Being able to see 12 of his 13 title matches live, really the only one being Padlock Fale I didn't want to watch live. I was just like, I'll wait. I'll wait. Was such a pleasure to see. And it's such a different kind of a viewing point, too, because Kobashi, obviously, a lot of that stuff when I wasn't watching it live during the reign and during Pro Wrestling Noah. So it's different. It's a different scope of looking at things. But I'll always remember this kind of time period of Kazuchika Okada. When he started wearing the pants, I was kind of like, fuck, maybe I'm not a fun time, but man, just kind of prime Okada was like 2006, 2007 Okada. Well, that's well, probably like 2015, 2017 Okada. You're just talking about the prime Kazuchika Okada. It's something that I'll always remember around this time period as a special time for me as a fan for wrestling. That was a lot of fun. The whole reign and just the whole time of New Japan. As a lot of title changes on this card. The only ones staying was the junior tag belts. A little, of course, I think everybody noticed after the show was interesting point. New Japan having all their champions except for the junior division being Gaijins. Really, it's not a big deal. It's kind of like, oh, that's something. Really, the longest reigning one is of course, Jay White now has had it for like 100 days. But really, because of course Elgin, Jericho, and Omega just now became champions. So really, the only problem I have is Elgin. But other than that, it's an interesting time for New Japan now, because with the, you could say the whitening of New Japan, it might be a thing that happens. I hope not. But that's something to look out for in the future. As for the show, it was the best New Japan show of the year. Highly recommended. Can't recommend it enough. Of course, the last 3 matches were definitely can't miss stuff. As I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. So that was a hell of a show. And it's now a big break in the action, though. Now, as the next New Japan video won't be until July. Won't be until the G1 Climax Cow Palace show. Which I can't believe it's already the G1 season. Just right around the corner. Time just fucking flies now. And thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. The review. And we'll see you guys next time for the preview of the G1 Climax Cow Palace show. Take care.